Bambu Labs is in hot water with its community over a beta firmware update, which for many people confirms their worst fears about what's going to happen with the 3D printing industry in the long run. And when I say 3D printing industry, yes, I'm also talking about resin 3D printing. So is this just a typical internet overreaction, or is this something we should genuinely be worried about? Since this whole thing blew up about 4 days ago, I've had some time to think about it and collect my thoughts, and so here I am. As consumers who've been promised so much, from the early days of the free internet to the social media hellscape we live in now, to Netflix jacking up his prices and adding in ad tiers, to HP locking you into printer ink, it feels like we've been here before. And regardless of what's true or not, people are right to be sceptical. And so, as someone with skin in the game, I thought I'd give you my thoughts. But before we get into that, I now do get this is a passionate topic, and I do want to hear your thoughts. But just because you're passionate about something doesn't give you an excuse to abuse somebody else. So if you can't keep it civil, don't comment. So to catch you up, as of the 21st of January 2025, and I give that date because, as Lewis Rosban pointed out in his video, Bambu Labs have been subtly tweaking that blog post to make it fit with the current narrative, and also restricting access to some of the ways you can view the archives of those websites too, which is shady, but it's not the point of this video. So here's what that blog post said. So Bambu framed this around security, as in keeping the system safe from hackers. But the new software updates basically control anything that happens wirelessly with the printer, which, as far as I understand it, is one of the major reasons to have a Bambu printer in the first place, to use the app and bits and pieces like that. The only thing that really won't be affected is printing things from an SD card. Eek. But since that blog post has been posted, there's been a huge community backlash, and so a follow-up blog post was made. This is what it said. Update was a little bit more combative, but they were pretty aggressive in denying lots of the things like their ability to brick the machine, or the restricting to third-party bits and pieces, or the fact they're going to steal people's data. Essentially, the major change was they announced something called developer mode, which basically gives people a backdoor, but in so doing, removes lots of the things like the ability to use the app and the cloud services, and the customer support functions as well. So a lot of the community are left wondering, why not just roll back on the entire announcement completely? And that was followed by numerous articles and videos, including this article from The Verge, which I thought was really interesting because Bambu Lab again reiterated and clarified their points. Now, this article's a little bit long, but I think it's probably the best one at explaining the direction and giving a sense to what Bambu are trying to do here. Essentially, what they're saying in this article is that while nothing's going to change in this generation as the software is all in beta, for next generation, there'll be substantial changes, and yeah, that's probably what people should look out for. So now you're up to speed, and the reality of this is, for most users, they will see no difference in how they use their printers. Sure, there'll be some minor changes to workflow, which will be irritating, because why can't things just ever stay the same for more than 5 minutes? But for most people, in reality, very little difference. It looks like Bambu Labs have responded to criticism just enough to keep people happy, but they've not rolled all the way back. And again, I'm not an expert here. I actually don't own a Bambu Labs printer, but as someone who reviews 3D printers, it was definitely on my radar as something I should be buying, and frankly, I don't know that I want to anymore. We'll see what happens. And because I'm not an expert, I can't talk to how the user experience will change in reality. There's a channel called Grayscalp who does a really good job of this, and I sincerely recommend you go and check out his channel. I'll link it down below. I have, however, reviewed lots of resin printers, and the worry that many in the industry have that printers are going to end up locking people in is a valid one, and it applies to resin printers as much as it does to FDM printers. One big example of that is the Hager's system, which has many similarities, on the surface at least, to the Bambu Lab system. It's designed to have a user-friendly interface that removes lots of the pain points around printing. So lots of automatic features and intelligent software systems. It also comes with proprietary resin, software lock-ins, and cloud-based servers. So yeah, lots of similarities. But there's a crucial difference between Bambu Labs and Hager's as I see it. And that is that Bambu Labs initially pitched their whole shtick as kind of open source. It was never really completely open source, but you were able to use third-party resins, you were able to use third-party slicers, and there was no barriers to that. Hey Gears have always, from day one, said, you have to use our resins, you have to use our software, and if you don't like that, go buy a different system. That's a completely different proposition. In fact, that really gets to the heart of what the problem is here. People bought into a system thinking they can use a system in one particular way, and then the company turns around mid-cycle and goes, actually, I've changed my mind. You have to do it this way instead. Now, that's not actually happened, but that's what people feel has happened or is about to happen. Hey Gears, though, have been straight up from the beginning saying, we think it's better for you to be locked in completely to our resins for X reasons, and if you don't like it, well, go and buy something else. That's a different proposition in my book. By all means, correct me if you think I'm wrong, though. I think what many people fear is that we're entering into and I only just learned this term this week, an Overton window. So an Overton window is when a company makes a controversial change. People go, oh no, and then they backpedal just enough to keep the consumer base happy, but not quite all the way. And then they keep ratcheting it up until you end up in a situation that you just didn't want to be in at all, and you've got lock-ins and subscription charges and all sorts of nonsense going on. Loads of companies do this. Loads of companies. From Adobe to Windows to Apple to whoever you name it. Until you eventually have a worse product you're paying more for. A term known as enshittification. The good news here, though, is unlike more monopolistic industries, 3D printing isn't there yet. There are loads of different options and different ecosystems you can buy into. For Core XY, FDM printers, you don't have to buy Bambu, you can buy Creality. Or you can buy Anycubic. Or Prusa. Or any other number of companies. We're lucky like that. And so the traditional advice stands here. If you don't like what Bambu are doing, vote with your wallet and just don't buy into the system or don't upgrade on the next cycle. If you don't mind, though, continue to support them with your money. At the end of the day, it's your choice. That's the whole point about having choice. You can choose to do whatever you want. Oh, and if you want a fun side quest, Google MakerBot and you'll see a very similar situation unfolding as to what's going on right now. And then look how that turned out. It's interesting, but not for this video. The trade-off, of course, with all this sort of stuff, and the reason people buy into the Bambu system in the first place is because it's just very easy to use and it works really, really well. They've got great products and they deliver great end results. And so consumers may decide that the potential trade-off and potential lock-ins are worth it. I know that's what I decided when I was looking at my Hey Gears systems. Yes, they're an expensive system. Yes, they're complicated and got some steps which make it harder to tweak individual settings, but at the end of the day, the workflow is just so easy that it makes my life better. And so it's a trade-off I'm willing to pay. And you've got to fully understand what you're getting yourself in for so you can make those decisions. Which is why I'm so proud to have a little YouTube channel like this to give consumer advice that's hopefully useful to you folks, and do let me know if you think it is or isn't. Now, I'm pretty fortunate to have a good working relationship with Hey Gears, despite being critical about them in a number of videos. And so when this whole situation started to unravel, I reached out to them and asked their opinion. And while they came back with a fairly generic corporate response, they did come back with a response, which I'm going to paraphrase in a second. But I'll put the full write-up of what they said into my newsletter, so if you're not subscribed to that and want to see the write-ups to this video and a little bit more text and a bit more context with more links and bits and pieces like that, then go and subscribe to that. You'll find the links down below. And as a bit of a sweetener to that, you'll get a free STL file every month, which is curated by me, just delivered into your inbox for nothing. So that's nice, isn't it? So basically what Hey Gears said was that the reason they have lock-ins and proprietary resins is to completely own the process, because essentially resin 3D printing and the materials behind it are complicated. And so by fully controlling the user experience, they ensure that the user experience is a good one. Basically, they know the properties of their resins, and so they can calibrate them properly with their machines, and so that when you put X in, you get X out. That's basically it. And like I say, you can disagree or agree with that, but at least that's their rationale behind it. They also went into some of their pathway of development I say Hey Gears fully admit that they are a company that's on a development journey, and they're trying to bring commercial systems to consumers in a sort of a logical, at least in their sense, way. So they say they want to refine the product first, and then they'll start working on the more complex process of bringing in third-party resins and stuff like that. But at the moment, they are saying that absolutely that is part of their plan. I guess we'll just have to take them at their word and trust the process. Or you could experiment yourself and check out Greedy 3D's channel, which tests loads of third-party resins already and proves they work incredibly well. So that's on you. So this has just been a short little video just to sort of splurge out my thoughts, and I just want to summarize that by saying that Bambu Labs have announced this change and caught the community a little bit on the hop and got a huge backlash as a result. Fundamentally, nothing has changed yet, but it's really got people's hackles up, and probably for a very good reason. Is this the beginning of lock-ins and subscription models and everything that people fear? I don't know, maybe. Bambu Labs say no. Time will tell, I guess. But consumers are right to be sceptical and right to call out this behaviour whenever they see it, really. And that goes for not just Bambu Labs, but any other manufacturer too. Hey Gears included, or Creality, or Anycubic, anyone. And it's made it all the more important to do your due diligence before you buy into an ecosystem, particularly one you're not 100% certain about, which makes channels like this one and others like it even more important. Which is why I want to continue to make useful videos like this. So do leave a comment down below if you think this has been useful, or if you think this is just nonsense and waffle, then let me know that too, because I don't normally make videos like this, and I might never do again, I'm not sure. So as always, a huge thank you to my patrons. Without their support, I wouldn't be able to make random little videos like this at all, frankly. So thank you very much, you are all legends. So I've been Rising 8 Minis, my name is James, and I'll see you next time.